Let's get to it.
Hey, I gotta hurry up and get ready to go back to work, but I just wanted to let y'all know that it's really people out here in the world that don't give a fuck about money. This man just came up to my dice table and lost $19,000, and I just feel like he could have gave that to me. Tell me what y'all think. Like $19,000 on a dice table at the casino.
The reason why Vegas is struggling right now is directly tied to elderly people. See, older people used to keep Vegas alive, right? Think about it, because they're running back and forth paying penny slots, eating at the buffets, going to the shows. They had a lot of really extra money just to do whatever, right? But see, now they can't do that like they used to. Elderly people are on fixed income, so with everything getting more expensive, like medicines, their rents, gas, groceries, they're going to cut out the things that they really don't need, but they enjoy doing. And let's be real, gambling trips to Vegas, that's not a necessity. Vegas built a whole empire, honestly, off of retirees. So when mama and papa ain't got that extra money, what you think happens to Vegas? See, when mama and papa ain't got that extra money anymore, what you think gonna happen? You gonna have empty slots, empty casinos, and eventually it starts to impact the entire financial system in Vegas. Ultimately, this ain't really about Vegas. It's ultimately about elections having consequences, and that's where we are. See, when seniors can't afford to stretch a couple dollars, that's a problem. That's a warning sign. It's not like they can go out here and earn more money. It's not like they're looking for jobs. So I gotta ask, if the people who helped build the Vegas Strip with their money can't even afford to do it anymore, what's the end game here?
Honestly, Las Vegas is becoming an empty city, and I feel like it's because of inflation and the fact that no one's about to be betting their money like that, especially in this current time in the world. Right now in the world is not the time to be visiting Vegas and having that whole experience and vibe. Now, if you do, that's great, I support. But I do also understand the fact that people are not coming to Vegas really and doing the tourism and doing anything because quite literally, shit is expensive, period. And then I feel like the younger generations, we don't actually really be gambling like that. That's not even really what we be doing. They honestly could have got us with the Uno table thing. That really would have got the younger generations back in the casinos for real. And probably a markup in tourism as well. But I don't even think that's the full idea. I don't know. Las Vegas is empty because the people are not coming here to gamble away their money. The people are not coming here to stay in an expensive hotel for 2 nights where it's gonna cost buku money and then go downstairs of the hotel that they're in and then bet away all their money and gamble and then go to a buffet that's gonna cost another $100. You know what I mean? It just is a lot. So I do understand why Vegas is looking a little empty right now, because who the fuck is trying to spend all that money? Seriously.
You know what? I haven't heard anybody mention on why Vegas is empty and no one's going anymore. The flights became too expensive. I remember I would be in Dallas or Atlanta or Tampa. I would get paid on Friday and look at how much money I had left over. I'm gonna go to Vegas next weekend. That's how easy and cheap it was to go to Vegas. A ticket to Vegas used to be $100 to $200 max. And if you lived in California and the surrounding states, it was even cheaper than that. Y'all messed up Vegas because y'all forgot y'all were Vegas. Y'all got a little too uppity. Now you looked at for a flight to Vegas, it's $400 to $700. What? Are you crazy? It's Vegas. You went to Vegas knowing it was cheap, but it was fun.
Welcome back, guys. It's Tiffany Rose in the building, and we talking about why Vegas collapsing. I mean, you try to get greedy, and this finna be your results. Let's get into it.
And you had no problem dropping them coins. Maybe have all of it. It literally was a Disneyland for adults. It really, really was. It was a playground for adults. And then too many kids and strollers and y'all messed it up. Y'all messed it up. Y'all got beside yourself.
I used to go to Vegas, but I don't like going to Vegas anymore, and I'll tell you why. Vegas had a humanistic side, and it had a kind of like a contract with us. We'll waste our money. We'll gamble, knowing that the cards literally are stacked against us, and in return for just playing and giving you our money, you're gonna give us a comfortable room for cheap, and you're gonna keep us fed and drunk, all at a very reasonable price. But something happened. The shareholders came in, the big business came in, and took all the casinos away from the organized CRIME and the MAFIA. And from what I understand, it was those sort of criminal organizations that were still interested in the people having a good time. But now that the corporations are in control, they don't care. It's too expensive. It's not fun. It's too crowded. There aren't enough good services. There aren't enough fun things. You know, $200-300 for a room at the Luxor is not tenable. $50 for a buffet is not workable. $300 to see a Cirque du Soleil show it's not worth it, because we're giving them money from the gambling. If they're getting all that money from gambling, they don't need the extra money, but they want it. So we're retreating. We're staying in our houses with our memories of a more humanistic time where the silent contract that Vegas had with us, give us your money and we'll give you cool stuff, was broken by the big money and the big corporations that took over. Because they don't care. And apparently the old MAFIA system that used to run Vegas did. And honestly, maybe it was because they were getting so much off the grift that they were like, give a little back to the people. Give them a cheap show and some food. And that system worked. Anyway, here's my blueprint for how to rebuild Vegas. $45 rooms, $45 a night. Your basic room. You know, nothing wonderfully special, but a nice clean room at any number of hotels should be around $45. You know, plus tax. The buffets should be $20. Buffets should be $20. I mean, personally, I can live without unlimited crab legs, and if they need to take away one of the most expensive things, fine. But just give us full, amazing, beautiful buffets for $20. And this whole business of going to see a show in Vegas for like $200, $300, $400, it was never meant to be like that. Those shows were meant to get us in the door, and then we'd gamble and spend a couple $100. Shows should be $75 max. Even the best ones, $75 max. So everyone can see them. Because what they're gonna have to learn is that their success is gonna come from us. And in order to bring us back, they need to be good to us. And we just aren't feeling it. So unless Vegas pulls its out of its and starts acting right, we're all just going to go to Indian gaming casinos that are closer to our homes anyway. Do we want to? No, not really. We want the experience of Vegas, how we liked it. But they ruined it. So that's my note for them. You know, $45 rooms, $20 buffets, and $75 tickets, and we'll come back. Simple as that.
Yeah, he telling the truth, right? $45 rooms. Y'all do that, then Vegas gonna be packed. $20 buffet, something affordable, decent, affordable drink. Stop being greedy. But yeah, everybody down there be looking for a job. For the payroll get cut in half. Keep playing. Cause folks ain't doing that. And then you got the elderly people supposed to be down there. With who retirement check going down there? With these new inflated prices. Y'all done lost y'all greedy mind. Better bring it back some. Sometimes you can get so uppity you forget where you came from. And it's not working. You know why it's not working? Because the people ain't coming. We got videos all about it. Look around. And see, that's why I deal with people that come watch the Tiffany Rose show. Because we are always on top of our shit. We are. We check in, find out what's going on with this economy. And that help us navigate how we spend our money. Because I only became a economist creator because this is what I did. I'm you. I watch what's going on, so I know how to navigate my money. That's why you don't see me crying and hurting about nothing. You gotta navigate, gotta keep your eyes open so you will know what's going on. Cause Las Vegas, y'all sleep. Y'all big sleep. You hear me? Y'all are sleep. Wake it up, boop. Don't you see what's going on? Ain't nobody coming down there with no $400 tickets. Come on. Y'all turned a cool place to hang out and gamble a little bit into a money grab. Because you got to start seeing your customers as customers. I want y'all to come down here. Come check out the show, girls. Come and look at Liberace. Y'all turned it into something else. Y'all making it like, dang, man, I spent how much here? I ain't coming back there. I mean, you only can play a person one time. Folk got down there. They seen how much it cost. And hey, y'all want to go back to Vegas? Girl, no. I'd rather go somewhere else. So you only can get it. Y'all done got it. You done got it out of folks. And they see what you about. And they like, nah, I don't want it. Nah, I don't want it. Nah, y'all can keep that. Do you want returning customers? Or you want a one-time deal? You better figure it out before it's too late. Because Vegas is going down right now.
For $20. And this whole business of going to see a show in Vegas for like $200, $300, $400, it was never meant to be like that. Those shows were meant to get us in the door, and then we'd gamble and spend a couple hundred.
Have you guys checked in on Las Vegas recently? Nevada has fucked around and found out by voting for Donald Trump as tourism completely slumps. Occupancy fell 15% in the month of June. They are seeing less and less international travel coming into the airports than ever before, and things are getting extremely rocky. Certain sites are posting 40% off stays, 75% off credits for like food and things like that, free parking, all sorts of things. Now, I know Las Vegas has had some crazy astronomical prices, but the only month they saw a jump in tourism was January. What was happening in January? What wasn't fully off the ground in January? Oh yeah, Trump's administration. As soon as he went after Canada and all these other countries with his tariffs and detaining people and people being afraid to enter the country, people were actually still coming to the United States. And then he put all these in place and he pissed off Canadians and the rest of the world. A lot of Canadians go to Las Vegas. A lot of international people go to Las Vegas, and now they're not. Even into July, rooms and occupancy rates are continuing to plummet. Las Vegas is built on tourism, just like places in Florida, Orlando, lots of other cities across this country are built on tourism, and it's not just built on tourism from the United States. We are a world economy. We have been for a long time, and a lot of people every year, millions and millions, come into our country to visit our cities. Las Vegas thrives on it. I know Clark County, where Las Vegas is a Democratic stronghold in the state, whatever. But this last election, Nevada as a whole went red. They decided that no tax on tips was going to be great. Well, guess what, bitch? You got to have your tips to not be taxed on them. And if nobody's coming to your casinos, nobody's coming into your restaurants, you can forget the taxes on your tips because there won't be any tips. That's how you work. You are a service and a tip industry. You rely on people coming to spend money. That's the only reason you exist. You are literally an oasis in a desert. No one else is traveling to Las Vegas except for the service industry of what that city offers. You produce nothing else but the grapple and the pull in for tourists. That's it. And if they're not coming, marking a decline of 15% in June alone, it is going to get darker and darker for a place like Las Vegas, and more hotels, businesses, restaurants will continue to shutter their doors. So you voted for Donald Trump? FAFO, my friend.
All the strippers I know in Las Vegas and some of the ones I follow on social media are saying similar things about how the clientele is not tipping in the strip club the way that they used to. Regular servers and bartenders are also saying that they're receiving less tips overall. The stats are all there to prove that people are shopping less, people are eating out less, and people are just spending less money on consumerism. Secondly, the CDC just reported that women are having less babies, and honestly, the economy is one of the biggest reasons why. I have a very long list of reasons of why I am never bringing children onto this planet, but people are financially struggling right now, moving back in with their parents, living paycheck to paycheck, losing their jobs to AI. The idea of bringing kids into this world to struggle and suffer does not sound enticing in the slightest. Which brings me to the third recession indicator, and it's that people in their 20s and 30s are moving back in with their parents. And honestly, we're not judging each other for it. I personally can't do that because my husband and I love the city of Las Vegas way too much to ever leave it. So we simply would not move in with our parents. But the idea of not having to pay rent is such an awesome thing right now that nobody in their 20s and 30s is judging each other for that. The next one is that Vegas tourism is down bad, so badly that Las Vegas casinos are actually offering discounts and incentives to convince people to come back to Las Vegas. Tourism is down in Las Vegas, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, and it makes me really sad because I'm a proud Vegas local and I actually want to see my city thrive. Vegas casinos are notoriously known for being extremely greedy, but with everything going on, they're actually offering discounts and incentives to get people to come, and that even includes some of them are waiving the resort's fee. And the last recession indicator, as I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm seeing lash technicians, nail technicians, Brazilian waxers, so many people who work in the beauty industry, and they're saying that they're losing clientele because girls are trying to figure out how they can do all of these services DIY and do all of their beauty services at home so they can save money. So if the beauty industry isn't doing well, even though we live in a patriarchal society where women are told that if we are not beautiful, we are worth nothing, women are still not investing their dollars into beauty services because they're trying to figure out how to save money and do these beauty services on their own at home or not do them at all. I'm personally trying to look at this time in life through a positive lens by having gratitude for everything I do have, putting self-love into practice, and trying to find the silver linings in everything. But I sincerely hope that things change soon for the sake of the collective consciousness, because the weight of such widespread depression and struggle is extremely heavy.
Yeah, I was in Las Vegas about 2 years ago, and I remember seeing a lot of people, especially in the Strip. But now it's like so different. There's not a lot of tourists around the area. Downtown is kind of like dead. I don't know if it's just because of the day or what's going on, but I think Las Vegas is dying.
I live in Las Vegas, and people are talking a lot about Las Vegas, how Las Vegas is down and people aren't visiting and flights are empty and all this stuff. This is what I can tell you. It's a Friday afternoon. And I just drove across town. I mean, from one end of the town to the other end of Las Vegas, and I just did it in 17 minutes. 17 minutes. No traffic whatsoever. And this morning there was eerily no traffic whatsoever. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but this much I can tell you. There's no traffic. There's no traffic in Vegas at all. If on a Friday afternoon I can drive from one side of the town all the way to the other, from Summerlin all the way to Henderson in 17 minutes, yeah, something's up. Something's up in Vegas. I don't know exactly what, but there's no traffic in Vegas.
The younger generation does not gamble like the older generation did, and I think I know why. See, older folks, when they went to Vegas, they were ready to hit those penny slots, those blackjack tables, and take a chance on everything. But see, young people, they look at gambling totally different. See, for young folks, gambling is not sitting at a machine and waiting for the cherries to line up. See, for young folks, gambling is like the idea of gambling and betting on themselves, putting their time, resources, and energy into things that are going to manifest the result that they want at the end. They understand that's not a game of chance. That's deliberate work. Because let's be real, even the games when you're gambling that require skill, they still require just a little bit of luck to be able to win. You can read the players, try to read the cards, you can do everything you want, but at the end of the day, you need some level of luck to help you out. And see, young people, they're not willing to sit around and be hoping for it. They would rather bet on the one thing that they know is a sure bet, themselves. Whether that's building a brand, starting a side hustle, investing, or just putting money towards expenses that give them something back. But the point is, it's deliberate. So when young people go to Vegas, they are not rushing to slot machines. They're there for the shows, the concerts, the food, and maybe the vibes, right? The gambling floor is not the main attraction for young people. And honestly, I respect that. I'd rather bet on myself too. instead of leaving the money in the hands of the roulette wheel. So let me ask y'all, if y'all went to Vegas tomorrow, would you spend like the money to hit the tables, or would you spend that money on yourself, just, and the experience instead?
Vegas is in severe decline. Tourists are leaving Vegas left and right because they say it's overpriced and just not worth the money anymore. Caesars Entertainment, the hotel and resort chain that does big business in Vegas, reported a massive revenue drop in the most recent quarter. But it's not just Caesars Entertainment that's suffering. The official Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority announced that visitors to Las Vegas declined by almost 10% in March. And hotel occupancy was down too, only being about 20% full. Now, people are pointing fingers at what's causing Vegas, and other people blaming the lack of big-name performers currently playing at Vegas. Now, some Vegas execs are trying to play it off as normal, but what the internet is saying is that Vegas simply is not worth it anymore. It's overpriced for a terrible experience. Well, Vegas, for charging too much for a lackluster experience and leading to your own demise, you just made the D3 List, a podcast about dumb, desperate, and diabolical business decisions.
When capitalism no longer lets people feel escapism, that's when it starts to die. Vegas used to be like this capitalist bastion. Like, it is just a city that's made out of advertisements, and it's just is made to just push endorphins and serotonin into your body, whether it's like gambling, drinking, SW. And I remember going to Vegas for the first time when I was 23 years old. I was with my cousin and my brother. We did hotel roulette, so $20. We got a 5-star hotel for a night. They ended up being racist to us, so we ended up getting bottle service for free. And for like $100 between 3 people, we were able to just have this almost like capitalist catharsis where we could eat as much as we want, drink as much as we want. And that just doesn't exist anymore in Vegas. Everything is just so prohibitively expensive. Like, buffets are over $80. Even just to park on the strip was $20 for an hour. And it shows when like capitalism goes to this extreme, then you just realize that capitalism is just exploitation. But that's why like Vegas is dying. Like, we're in a recession. There's nothing more than people wanting to escape during a recession. So like, if Vegas just lowered their prices, people would come and fall into the same traps of gambling and losing their money, but they would be happy to do so. But when you can see the exploitation, then there ends up being a resentment against the system for taking from us. And there's this compounding factor. Like, I know so many of us this year are okay with not going to EDC next year because Vegas itself was just too expensive. When you don't even have like a coffee maker in the room or a microwave, it makes people want to like push back on the system. A small coffee in the hotel should not be $8.50. If I have caffeine in my system, I'm going to want to go and make some bad decisions. But because I see you trying to drain me of my money, I'm going to hold on to it. And this is not just Vegas. We're seeing this literally everywhere in LA, in New York, Chicago, SF, Seattle. And it ends up hurting everybody. It ends up hurting the business, it ends up hurting the people, it ends up hurting the community. And so I think we're going to see a lot of counter-programming start to pop up in the next 3 to 5 years against these big kind of corporate locations.
All right, Vegas, here we go again. These hidden fees, I'm telling you. So if you haven't seen my last video, check it out. But this is proof right here. I literally got receipts. So this tourist right here comes to Vegas, goes to Hell's Kitchen, has a summer sampler right up there for $80. He gets his tax, 6 something, a tip already charged to him for almost $15, and then his total. And then they have the audacity to put down here, gratuity not included. Here's your options for the tip. So who keeps this? The restaurant? I'm telling you, this is getting out of hand, these hidden fees, and it's making our tourists lose faith in the business that we're running here in Vegas. They are. They're getting nickel and dimed all the way down the strip. Well, stuff like this. I'm telling you, this is hurting us, Vegas. This is hurting us. It's shady, it's sneaky, and it's making our tourists lose trust in visiting Vegas.
So hey y'all, remember a few months back when we were talking about some states that were going bankrupt and they were losing money because of farming and the fact that there were no migrants to help with the harvest and all that kind of stuff? Well, it has now spread outside of farming to tourism. So Las Vegas, Nevada is now reporting that they are seeing a staunch decline in their tourism industry. They are blaming it on the fact that People are afraid to travel to Las Vegas because flights are down for people coming into the city because they're afraid of ICE. People are afraid of being picked up on the strip because of ICE. So because of that, a lot of the hotels have had to raise their prices because they're not getting the influx of people into the hotels. Casino.
Now we getting somewhere. I didn't know that people was scared to walk on Vegas. I know I made some videos about the farmers and they don't have workers anymore and they collapsing. But I didn't know people scared to walk down the street on Vegas because ICE is following y'all and snatching people up in Vegas. That makes a little sense because sometimes you have a lot of Hispanic workers usually work in the hotel business, but I didn't think that they was that petty that they'll start around there. Ooh, ICE ain't playing.
Are empty and traffic has improved by over 15%. So that means there's not a whole bunch of backup of people on the strip, all of that. One person went on the record to say that they blame Syphilitic Sid. They blame the tariffs. They blame his immigration policies. They are blaming the economy and all of it squarely on him. They're saying that buffets are now upwards of over $100 because there ain't nothing like a good buffet when you go to the casino, child, and you done spent all your money and they done comped you some stuff. Oh, anyway, maybe now might be a good time for me to go because won't be a lot of people there. Anywho, yes, Vegas, y'all, Vegas. When Vegas is struggling, y'all know that Armageddon got to be around the corner. Anyway, I'm going
Y'all better wake up, man. Times is hard out here, and they ain't playing no games. When you see stuff like this, you better know what time it is. She ain't lying. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have you been to Vegas lately? What was your experience when you went to Vegas? Were they trying to tax and flex you on everything? Let me know. I'm out.